Turn your engine off. Pull up the handbrake, pull on the bonnet release handle and open the bonnet. This will allow you to see the battery, which is located to the right of the engine compartment. Lift the plastic cover located on the lower left to access the terminal. Lift the fastening latch of the terminal to extract the terminal. Open the cover of the plastic case located under the battery. Using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket, unfix the fastening nuts of the cables on the plus terminal. Finish taking them off by hand, then take out the 2 electric cables. To make sure you don't lose the nuts, screw them back onto the respective positions. Close the cover. Then with your thumbs, unclip all of the case and position it in a way that you can easily manipulate it during the following steps of the process. To remove the cover of the battery box, pull upwards to unclip it, then towards you to take it off. Using a socket wrench and an 8mm socket, loosen the ground lug and take it off. Open the plastic tabs on the flange that hold the calculator in place. This will ensure you can take it out. With it in hand, pull upwards and slide it out of its housing. Then flip it onto the side in a way that doesn't pull on the cables but also doesn't get in the way when placing the battery. With a socket wrench, a long extension and a 10mm socket, remove the nut and take off the fastening plate of the battery. With the fingers of one hand, pull apart the right-hand side of the battery box. This will separate it from a spur that stops the battery from coming out. Simultaneously, with the other hand, take the battery out. Sand the connector board of the plus cable frame with sanding paper, as well as the inside of the terminals. This will remove the layer of white oxidation and avoid, in the long term, unwanted breakdowns. To put the battery back in, hold it with one hand by the handle and incline it forwards with your other hand. This will make it easier to slide into the box. Take off the 4 terminal covers if they're present on the new battery. When you're putting the battery in place, it can be very tricky and you need to pay a lot of attention. We have just the tip to make it that little bit easier. Take a piece of paper towel and fold it into 4s. Lay it flat on the socket, then insert the head of the nut, forcing it into the socket. Magic! It holds all by itself. By only using the extension, you will be able to screw the holding plate back in place. Delicately push it back in by lightly pressing on the battery to correctly position it. As usual, start by hand, and for the final turns to tighten the screws, insert a wrench into the extension, block it, and remove the paper towel. Put the calculator back in place, making sure to slide it into the rails. It should be fixed and flat against the battery box. Finish by clipping the flange housing. Replace the ground lug, and while fully holding it onto the terminal, screw it in with a socket wrench. Put the battery cover back on, inclining the cover forwards so that it goes in, then push it downwards to lock it in place. Put the plastic box back in by sliding it towards you into its housing. Open the cover. Take out the 2 nuts. Then put the first cable back in place, which should still be in place on the vehicle. Remember to correctly position the cable into the correct place indicated on the battery box. The second should be connected to the plus terminal. You also have to pass it through the front guide to fix it to the connector board. Finish by tightening the screw with the help of a socket wrench, then close the cover. Reconnect the plus terminal by pushing the interlocking cover downwards. Operation completed.